The iron shackles bit deep into young Epictetus's ankles, as he limped behind his master through the streets of Rome. A slave by birth, he had been beaten often, once left crippled for life by the brutal hand of his master, twisting his leg beyond repair. Each night, lying on cold stone, he stared at the stars above the city's filth and wondered, if these are gods, why do they cloak cruelty in divinity, and let their oracles echo it as wisdom? He was raised among temples, to Apollo, to Athena, to Zeus, and yet, every god he knew, wore a crown woven from pride. They ruled not with wisdom, but with the tremble of thunder, the silence of indifference, and the weight of fear. Apollo gave Orpheus his song, a melody born to mend what breaks, yet said nothing, as love was torn from his arms, and led into the underworld. Athena stood for law, but not for truth, when truth made gods look small. Zeus demanded loyalty, from Olympus to the dust below, while his own hands were stained with broken oaths, and whispered betrayals. The gods asked for sacrifice, and when fathers laid children on the altar, the heavens stayed quiet, as if grief were beneath their notice. Temples gleamed with gold, priests walked in silks, and all the while, men like him, chained and bleeding, were told this was holy. They named it sacred. He saw only power, dressed in robes of reverence. If these were gods, then divinity was nothing but theater, cruelty made eternal, by incense and song. And so, in the silence between lashes, in the dark beneath marble, Epictetus began to doubt. In stolen moments of solitude, he studied philosophy. Words of Socrates and Zeno reached him, like whispers through smoke. He read that reason was divine, that virtue was the only good, and began to sense something deeper, a presence not sculpted in marble, not born from myths. As years passed, pain became his teacher. The body could be broken, but not the will. He began to see that the true divine was not outside, but within. God is not in thunder, but in reason that refuses to fall, he would later say. It was not Zeus he spoke of, but something far greater, a universal mind, an intelligence that wove the cosmos with purpose, not void, where even suffering bends toward harmony, if seen with clear eyes. He tested this belief in silence and suffering. When mocked, he remained still. When betrayed, he sought understanding, not vengeance, and with every trial, he felt it more clearly. That reason, that quiet guide, was no accident. It was the spark of divinity, placed in every human soul. You carry a god around within you, poor wretch, and know nothing of it. He would write, not with pride, but with wonder, not a god of law, but of the logos that speaks within, not a god of fear, but of clarity, the kind possessed by those who stand unshaken in the storm, and see clearly. Once a slave, chained for 30 years, now a teacher in Nicopolis, Epictetus stood, bent by fate, yet lit from within by a quiet flame. No bondage could extinguish. He taught not dogma, but alignment with the logos, the divine reason that binds all things. Not myth, but truth, not many gods, but one, logos, whose thoughts sang the cosmos. Enter a symphony of becoming, and placed within us a hidden flame, that through stillness and struggle, we might remember, we were never merely dust. Logos has made all things complete. You are a fragment of him, a piece of his divine nature. He once told his students, you are not bound by fate, you are bound by fog. Clear the mind, and Logos awakens, the ancient echo, that willed the cosmos into form. See through its eyes, and what was hidden begins to sing. Pain becomes the flame that refines, not ruins. Loss becomes the offering that clears the path. Insult drifts like ash, forgotten by the mountain. And chaos becomes the clay, from which you shape eternity.